Okay, so we've got our next choice here. Um, so a deft maneuver, that would be for bravery. A quick-witted distraction would be for wisdom, or an act of kindness for kindness. Um, so since we already went with the kindness option, I find it better to stick with the same theme throughout it. You can mix things up. Some of the options don't affect the story as much as others do. But for the full effect, I like to go with the same theme throughout the whole chapter. So we're gonna go with
Treat
kindness
my
again.
opponents with respect. You'll be surprised what opens up to you. A lovely fellow once told me the fastest way to anyone's heart is through their stomach. Speaking of, that reminds me of a story. One I know you haven't heard before. When I was a much younger lad, before I was a knight, before I'd been to Daventry, and even before I had seen a dragon. It's a tale about a tournament that changed my life. It is a long story, but I shall tell it briefly.
Well, Triumph, this looks as good a place as any to camp for the night. Let's rest up. We have a big day tomorrow.
Alright. And here starts the main part of the game. We kind of made it through the introduction there. You have slight control over him as he's going down, but no matter what you do, you're gonna have the same outcome. It reminds me of that movie with Chris Farley. And he's falling down the mountain for like 5 solid minutes.
After gracefully rappelling down the cliff, I welcomed the sight of an actual road, the first sign of civilization.
Okay.
Daventry was just a few miles to the east. I'd read all about its wonders in my travel books. I couldn't wait to check out its famous, fantastical floating island.
Alright, so since we have to go east, let's go west.
Grandpa, you can't leave Triumph.
Don't worry, Triumph can fend for himself. We've been through our share of sticky situations, but he always comes around when I need him most.
And yes, Triumph is a horse. The horses in this game are a little off. They kind of look like dogs mixed with gerbils.
I could have sworn the parade of hopeful knights was scheduled for the next day. I should have been with them, marching with Triumph. It seemed my first few minutes at Daventry were off to a terrible start.
So, how did you catch up with them?
Alright, so if you haven't caught the gist already, we're here to participate in a tournament to become the next knight in this town. And we're supposed to be in that parade, but our heroine here is a day late and $1 short.
Blazed a trail through the forest.
I look at this and I think of Colorado. But then you go down here, and all the pink trees, it's like the cherry blossoms, so it could be the mountains in Japan. If anybody knows for sure, let me know, because that's been on my mind for a while now. So here,
I
you'll
wonder
notice.
what those birds needed a toolbox for.
There we go.
Shame. The only tool left seemed to be a small hatchet. And no, Gwendolyn, before you start asking me thousands of questions about that hatchet, I did not go around using it on everything.
Okay, so that's all we need from this area. So feel free to go ahead and jump across these rocks. We'll see a broken wheel.
Seemed freshly broken. That wheel seemed freshly broken.
And sometimes when you click on things more than once, it'll give you different commentary. Some of it can be rather funny. This guy. You'll see.
Stand back, you dirty thieves! Wah! Oh, it's just a boy. Don't know where he's from, but it must be hard to pronounce. You know, you should never sneak up on a guy in a dangerous place like... Oh! What's wrong with your foot? Probably stepped on a spiniferous thornweed. Don't worry, I got just the fix for that. Tell me, is it more of a... Ow! Or a... Oh! Either way, the Merchant of Miracles has got you covered. But it'll cost you. I've risked my neck to forage the most rare, miraculous, mysterious, and oftentimes delicious ingredients. Ah, here it is. I massage this into my skin twice a day, and just look at my little biscuits. Well, now that I've mulled it over, you'd better not. It might stunt your growth. Ooh, such exquisite material. Hey. I knew you weren't from around here. Well, you best get going. Nobody likes a late night. Oh, wait. You're stuck here with me. Every Bajin is out, and my shortcut had a few shortcomings. I swear that rock leaped straight out of the water. Now I'm stuck here with no wheel, a lost toolbox, and Mr. Fancy Cakes. Say, I'll bet a fine, strapping young man like you could help me fix up this wheel. Yup, you help me fix my chariot, and I'll give you a lift to the tournament. Hopefully no one else notices your horrible lack of punctuality. Oh, how rude. Do you have any questions for me?
Nope. I'm not listening to that again. This is Mr. Fancy
Can I
Cakes.
pet your goats?
Stay away from my majestic unicorns.
Unicorns? Isn't that a bit of string right there?
I said back away. Seriously, my boy, they aren't gonna pull this chariot without a wheel. I know. They're the most majestic creatures in the world. Mr. Fancy Cakes, I saw that look in your eye. Don't you dare touch my unicorns. They're for looking only.
Alright. So, we got that hatchet earlier.
Perhaps there was a wheel on the
And we
other
got a
side
tree.
of that river. Too bad.
We got
I
a
couldn't
river.
Swim.
How did you get across that river?
How did we get across indeed, Gwendolyn? There you go. The puzzles in the beginning here are fairly simple.
I had to go out on a limb to get past the root of the problem.
Grandpa, your infamous puns are not my favorite.
What's the matter? You don't like the timbre of my voice? You'll warm up to the puns.
These are terrible.
Here, kitty, kitty. Not a kitty, not a kitty!
See more. Those are just more wolves. It'll give you the same cutscene. If you want to do it again, feel free to. This looks familiar though, don't it?
Overgrown patch of spiniferous thornweeds obstructed a path to the water well.
The well with the ginormous dragon in it?
Perhaps.
There's no mystery there. That's the well. Let's continue on the path. As you can see from those scratches on the door, whatever was in those bushes, they aren't too friendly. So let's make our own way in. Alley-oop. And there we go.
The town square was eerily quiet. Was I the only person in Daventry not at the parade? Like me, this little tree was new in town and needed some time to grow and find its way. What? Too sappy?
I have nothing to say.
You'll warm up to it.
Alright, so this is going to be the main town. It's kind of your central hub. And there's 3 shops here. There's a blacksmith, a bakery, and a potion shop. Now, each one resembles the different paths you can take. So the blacksmith is for bravery, the potion shop is for wisdom, and we're going kindness, so we're going to go into the bakery.
A bakery. And it smelled delicious.
Alright, so we're looking for a wheel, and that looks like a wheel to me.
Ah, I didn't see any reason why that stale bread wouldn't work for a wheel.
Alright. Now, they've got tip jars in all of the shops. You don't have
I was
to...
asking for tips, and there was a metal pan to collect coins.
You don't have to leave them a tip if you don't want to. With the baker, he gets a little bit upset, but as long as you promise to buy a pie from him later, he is not mad at you anymore for stealing. But since we're doing kindness, it'd be the
I
kind
decided
thing to
some
leave a
coins
tip.
for the bread. The delectable goods looked tasty, but I couldn't compete in this tournament with a full stomach.
No pie for me. Alright, let's go. Now, if you choose wisdom, you can go into the potion shop and there's a sturdy wooden table top that you can take. And then in the blacksmith shop, you can take a giant shield. The game will only let you take one thing at a time, so I'm not going to bother going in there. And especially if you're going for kindness and for the Good Samaritan achievement, you want to make sure that you keep these doors shut all the time. And the blacksmith will explain why later, but for now, just make sure you keep that shut.
Ah, a shortcut.
Go right on through. And let's give this bread back to the merchant. I don't trust that guy.
Do I really have to hear the story about how you took forever to tiptoe across that fallen tree again?
No, I guess not.
Alright, hello Mr. Fancy Cakes. So you can try to give him the hatchet if you want to get a bonus cutscene.
What? What happened to the rest of my tools? My wheel mending kit was in that toolbox. You expect me to fix this wheel with only a hatchet? Hatchets are for destroying, not for fixing. What kind of game are you playing here, boy? Oh, I know. Maybe I could use this blade to chisel a wheel out of driftwood. Or perhaps I could cut down a rubber tree plant and weave myself a wheel. You are not going to last 3 seconds in that tournament with that kind of stupid dream logic. Tell you what, you can keep my hatchet, but please bring me a real solution. You know, like a wheel, big, round, rolling, a wheel that goes here, like those.
This guy's a little high strung. This is the game